What's up, y'all? I'm leaving Miami. Guess what? I came with a group of girls. Where they at, though? Where my friends? Sir, excuse me. Have you seen my friends? Yeah. Damn, I thought if we come together, we leave together. I was raised different. I don't know. I got a whole story to tell. Join my Twitch and they can buy up. What's up? Since I'm still on social media, I might as well be. What's up? I got a lot to say.
Y'all seen the video with the girl who was on a trip with all her friends, and she forgot something when she went downstairs, so she went back upstairs to the room. And as she went upstairs to the room, she was overhearing them talk about her at the door. They didn't hear her, but she heard them. So she basically made it seem like she had somewhere to go. So when they was going out somewhere to one of the excursions, she said, hold up, y'all, I forgot my stuff at the hotel. I'm gonna catch up with y'all later. So she canceled the room. She forgot she was on a payment installment, so she canceled the room over the phone. Hairpin caught her early flight. So she got her early flight, this, that, and the third. So to sum it up, by the time they got back, the whole room was already canceled. So I guess they ain't have no room. I don't know if I should laugh or if I should feel bad. But one thing I am gonna say is it's good that she didn't say anything, because usually when females confront their friend when they're on a trip, it always ends either fatal or just chaotic.
Guys, can you help me with this girl math? My wife said that she went to Target and bought something and then asked me how much I thought it was worth. And I said $70. And then she says, no, it was $50.
It was 50.
Okay. And then what'd you say afterwards?
I can spend $20 more because you thought it was 70. So therefore I saved $20.
Because I thought it was worth $70, she has now saved $20, and now she wants to put that $20 to whatever she wants.
Ask any girl.
That's girl math.
Girl math. If I don't spend anything today, I've doubled my budget for tomorrow. My thing is, bro, I might agree with that. If you pay in cash, it's free. How does that make any sense?
No, listen, your cash isn't real money.
It's not logical, bro.
It does make sense, but
If I return something, I'm making money.
bro, okay.
Because the money's coming back to my account.
Okay.
All bodysuits and dresses are 50% off because you're saving money on the top and the bottom.
Bro.
If I spend money the day before I get paid, I didn't lose any money.
It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. I feel like girls be mathing, and the math don't be mathing, but it be mathing. Nothing's coming out of that paycheck, but it could have also been added to that paycheck. But nothing's coming out.
No, now you're making no sense. Stop.
You feel?
No.
Ladies, I'm trying.
What is your girl math? I'm not going to pay $20 for shipping. I'm just going to put something else in my cart that's $20 and get shipping for free.
You guys, I'm like really smart now.
Why pay for the shipping cost when you can get another item for free? What's your girl math?
Let me girl math this for you. So do I need these 2 Starbucks today? No. Did I buy them because they were buy one, get one free? Yes. So then I can take out the ice, I can put them into the fridge, and then I have coffee for free for the next 2 days. So it's a future investment. Everyone's saying to invest. I'm investing.
So how do you actually decenter men? This is a great question, and I want to start this off by clarifying that decentering men does not mean avoiding men completely, but not prioritizing men and instead having an identity outside of being in a romantic relationship. So the question is not how to stop actively caring about men, but how to start actively caring about yourself more. So of course we are all different human beings, but these are 4 tips that have helped me decenter men, and I'm going to list them here for you guys. So tip 1 is to keep promises to yourself, big and small, because the foundation of decentering men is self-love. And the way that you build self-love is by continuously showing up for yourself. So I would start small. If you say that you are going to go work out 3 times a week next week, then do just that, because the more that you are able to build that trust in yourself and show yourself that you have your own back, the easier it is going to be for you to follow through on bigger promises. Like if you tell yourself that you are no longer going to contact that person because they are disrespecting you. Tip 2 is to do all the things that you are excited to do in a relationship. So this could be going out to brunch, it could be doing a movie marathon, it could be taking that staycation, whatever it is, because most of those activities are not exclusive to people in a relationship, and you should not have to wait for a relationship to be able to experience those things that you want to do. And this also falls in line with the idea of building a community and also investing in your friendships and making new friends. Tip 3 is to at least invest in one new hobby. So this could be you signing up for music lessons, it could be you learning how to cook or starting to read. Because when you have a hobby and something that you can focus your energy and time on, then that means that you are not going to be focusing on what you think could be missing in your life, like a romantic relationship. And it is also such an underrated feeling to discover something that makes you happy and excited that you can invest in. And tip 4 is to reflect on your past relationships, because the media, society, the people around you have a way of glorifying this idea of being in love when your lived experiences also matter. So when you take a step back and look back in hindsight of what you possibly went through or experienced in those relationships, that is also real. So maybe you forgot that you felt physical and emotional stress toward the end of those relationships, or those moments that you were frustrated that you had to continue to repeat yourself or explain yourself, or those excuses that you had to make for your partner at the time so that your friends and family could possibly have a chance of liking them. Those are all experiences that were real to you, and it's proof that the wrong relationship is not worth it when being single is better than being in that wrong relationship. The truth is that wanting a romantic connection is human nature. But decentering men, that does not mean that we are trying to suppress that. Instead, it is reminding women and regrounding us to understand and realize that a relationship is not the key to happiness. If you are unfulfilled and unhappy on your own with your own thoughts, it is very unlikely that you are suddenly going to be happy and fulfilled in a relationship. No man is going to come and save you. No relationship is going to make you feel better. You are the only person who cannot leave yourself, which means you are the only person capable of changing your own life.
The world will also be a better place when women realize that men 9 times out of 10 are using you for an ego boost. Their proximity to you defines them. The ability to be within proximity of a woman and be chosen by a woman is the only way for them to feel valuable. However, they also resent that. They resent that they have to elicit desire from women to be seen and feel valuable. So whilst trying to seek your attention and your desirability, they have to also degrade you so that you don't recognize how much of a power dynamic imbalance is happening here. And a lot of you bitches fall for it, and that's unfortunate to me. I want better for men. I want them to develop senses of self that are not rooted in and reliant upon attention from women. And I want women to recognize that it's really not that validating to get attention from men because they're really doing it for themselves 9 times out of 10. But hey, I mean, this works for people, I guess.
Story time about my girls' trip to Vegas that went horribly wrong and then ended with me being cussed out by your guys' favorite rapper and then being robbed for thousands of dollars by the end of this fucking trip. So to protect the identity of everybody in this situation, I will be using code names clearly, but we're gonna start off with 4 girls, okay? Myself being one of the girls, obviously. So the 4 girls are myself, my cousin. We're gonna call this girl Pebbles, and then we're gonna call my bestie who was on this trip, we're just gonna call her Bestie, just to make things simple. So it's my cousin's graduation from college. Obviously, it's a huge thing. I want to celebrate it. We love celebrating. So of course, this is a huge achievement, right? You're graduating from college. Of course, we have to go on a girls' trip. And of course, it just makes sense to go to fucking Vegas because why not? So I set up everything for this trip. I set up the room. I have a plug that will get us free rooms. I have like all the situations set up. So pretty much we don't have to spend any of our own money. So I'm planning pretty much this trip 100% by myself. And my cousin, she brings Pebbles, which is her best friend. And then I bring my bestie to this trip, okay?
Obviously, we had a group chat with all 4 of us in it, just discussing the trip and like what our itinerary was, whatever. The day comes, we all have different flights. So me and Bestie have one flight, and then Pebbles and Cousin have the same flight. So we all land at different times though. So me and Bestie land pretty early in the day. My cousin and and Pebbles, they land a little bit later than us. And then while me and my bestie are getting dressed to go to dinner, I get a text from my cousin and Pebbles in the group chat. And they said, hey, we're gonna stop at this Jamaican food spot for dinner because we haven't ate all day. So I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, no worries. We'll see you guys when we see you, like no rush. We'll all link up to go out later that night. So it just so happened, I'm gonna call my friend Ace. So my homeboy Ace that just happened to be out there the same time as me is out there doing his thing, whatever. And he hit me and was like, hey, do you wanna go get dinner with my friends? He had a group of friends that were out in Vegas, and they just happened to be staying at the same hotel as like our whole group. So I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. So we all link up for dinner. So it's me and Bestie and then Ace and all his homeboys or whatever. And Ace, he's a little bit of a baller, whatever. So he rented out like this whole area of like the restaurant that we were at. So time goes by and we're enjoying the dinner with Ace and his friends and me and Bestie. We're just having drinks, we're eating. We've been there for a minute at this point and my cousin still hasn't pulled up to the hotel. By the time she gets there, I tell her, hey, come meet me at this restaurant. I'll give you the hotel key so that you can go up to the room and just, get ready so that we can go out later tonight. My cousin hits me and she's like, hey, I'm outside. So I meet them outside of the restaurant and I give them the key. Pebbles fixes her mouth to say, oh, so you guys are just gonna go out to dinner and not tell us anything? And I'm like, girl, y'all have food in your hand. Y'all went to a Jamaican spot by yourselves. Like, I can't help that you chose to do something different. And she's like, well, why wouldn't you tell us that you guys were going out to eat at a nice restaurant and like you guys rented out like a whole area of the restaurant and you didn't even tell us, like we would have rather have did that. So I proceed to tell her like, oh girl, like, it is what it is. You guys, it was last minute. Had I known that you guys were going to take that long, you guys wouldn't have even made it in time. Like, it was just like a coincidence that my friend was out here and we all just went to dinner last minute. Mind you, Pebbles I have only known for like less than a year. Like, I had seen her maybe once or twice in passing with my cousin, but like I didn't know her like that. She's not my friend. She is my cousin's best friend. So like for you to even start talking to me like that, red flag already. And it's not even day one. It's hour one of this girls trip. So my cousin kind of intervenes and she's like, whatever, it's cool. Like, we're going to go upstairs and get dressed. I wish you guys would have invited us, whatever. I guess I could have said something in the group chat. But y'all were already like 2 hours later. We had already been at the restaurant for like 2 hours. So it's like, girl, there's nothing we could do. Anyways, dinner ends. Me and Bestie go upstairs to our hotel room with Pebbles and my cousin to, go out for the night. Mind you guys, this is night one. And let me say this too, actually. I got us such a beautiful hotel room. So clean, luxurious. There was 2 different wings of this hotel room, okay? Not even to like flex, but like my friends that have traveled with me before and we go out like on trips, I'd be making sure we have all the nice shit, okay? When I'm planning it, I make sure everyone has their own room, everyone's comfortable, everyone has their own situation, okay? So as we're getting dressed, Pebbles fixes her mouth to say, again, this room is dirty. This room looks so dirty. Like, who booked this room? And I'm like, girl, what do you mean who? This is a 5-star hotel and we're in a huge fucking suite, okay? This isn't like, oh, one of the basic rooms, 2 bed, 1 bath. This is a big ass suite, okay? So I'm just kind of ignoring her. I'm just like, whatever. Once we go out, hopefully the energy changes and we, I won't hear her mouth. We get in our Uber to go to Dre's. And if you know Dre's, that's like the best club in Vegas. It's my favorite club. I always go there every time I go. It's just such a vibe. I love just everything there. So we get into Dre's and of course, Pebbles and my cousin. Pebbles tells my cousin, oh, you know, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, let's go to the bathroom, right? And so I'm like, I don't need to go to the bathroom, like y'all can go, right? So my cousin was like, okay, we'll be back, we're gonna go to the bathroom, as we're in the club, right? So they walk off, they go to the bathroom. Me and Bestie are just keeping out the scene, we're walking up, looking cute, whatever. And obviously, as I expected, because they were like, oh, like we don't know anybody's booth, da da da. Instantly, as soon as we walk in, within the next like first 5 minutes, somebody comes up to us and is like, hey, I am such and such's producer or assistant or something, and he would love for you guys to come to the artist booth. He's about to perform, you know, and hang out with us for the night. Okay, cool. But I had already told the assistant, I was like, hey, I have 2 other girls with me. I have my cousin and I have her best friend. So just make sure that there's enough room for all 4 of us. And she goes, oh, you know, don't worry about it. Don't worry. You guys are all good. Just like, you know, let me know when your cousin and her friend get out the bathroom, right? So I text the group chat with all 4 of us, and I'm like, hey, we're going to go to the artist booth. Let me know when you guys get out of the bathroom so I can grab you. And then this is when my cousin started to act a little bit weird. So she texts the group chat and she goes, why would you leave us? Why would you leave us knowing that we just went to the bathroom? How could you leave us? I'm like, girl, we didn't leave you. I just told you when you get out the bathroom, let me know. I'm going to have the girl come down and get you guys so we can all sit together. Like, what's not clicking? So as I told them, when they got out of the bathroom, the assistant went down and grabbed the girls so that they can come to the artist booth and sit with all of us. Okay, great. However, my cousin and Pebbles both seemed like they had a little bit of an attitude, okay? You know when you're like texting somebody, you're texting your friend, but you guys are texting like when you're next to each other, like it's like you're gossiping about the situation? That's what was going on. I could clearly tell my cousin was texting Pebbles talking shit about me, okay? But the night goes on. We all are drinking. We're all having fun. Like they're ordering like all these like Don Julio bottles, like 1942, like bottles, right? So obviously at that point, the energy has definitely changed. Everyone's in a great mood. We're all having fun. The vibe is perfectly fine. The rapper that we were with got off of his set and he's chilling with us. We're all having fun, talking, dancing, drinking, whatever. So then Pebbles comes up to me while we're in the booth. She's like, hey, I'm going to try to, you know, mess with the rapper. I'm going to try to see, you know, what's up with him. Y'all, not even 3 minutes into her saying that, I hear the rapper tell me, oh, it's a dead body, your friend's a dead body. I'm like, what? I look to my left and I see Pebbles asleep in the booth, nodding off. But as she's nodding off, she is violently throwing up on herself, on the table, on her shoes, on all the guys' shoes, on the rapper's shoes. She's just throwing up on everything inside of the ice bucket, okay, at the freaking table. What happens next? The rapper takes out his phone and he starts recording my friend throwing up on herself with the flash on. And this is the end of part 1. Who the fuck did I go to Vegas with?
These chips are good.
You wanted to be outside earlier, now you don't want to be outside.
I need another bag. This is tea.
So don't come at me like I'm on that shit. You open the door like that, I gotta go get my shit, go to another room. That's not the first thing I motherfucking said. You want to make it a deal like me, I'm not arguing.
Should I do a story time?
You are, actually, but you love arguing. I've been quiet in a bitch.
Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. I know I'm not, but listen anyway. So a few weeks ago, I started planning a trip to Jamaica, okay? And I solo travel. I go to all my trips by myself. Mexico, DR, Thailand, like everywhere. I done went by myself, right? So now it's like a thing. My homegirl, she knew, and she was like, hey, I want to go. Because when I was going to Mexico, like, previously, I was like, oh, girl, you should come. Like, I got everything booked. Like, I'll get you a ticket and everything. And she was like, no, because, you know, she want to be independent like me or whatever. So she didn't go. So this trip, she was like, I need a break. Like, you know, I'm stressed out. Like, I want to come. And I was like, cool. And I was like, if I get your ticket, you really going to come? And she's like, yeah. So that's what ended up happening. So I was like planning it. Originally, it was supposed to be like Tulum. We were supposed to go back to Mexico or something. But I was like, you know what? I ain't never been to Jamaica. Let's go to Jamaica. She was like, cool. We on board. We've been talking about it for a while. Come one day, I get her on the phone. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to book your ticket. I'm about to book both our tickets or whatever. So we on the phone. I book my ticket. I book her ticket. Okay? So now after the tickets book, I'm making like a Google Doc. I start planning and like going in depth, okay? But this is when it turned into like a kind of a group trip type thing. So last year I started solo traveling. I was doing everything by myself. But this year I'm like, I got so much content. Why don't I just reach out to like resorts, hotels and stuff and collaborate, you know? Y'all know how that go. So I started reaching out to resorts and stuff. They was responding back, but they was like, you know, we'll look over your EPK. We'll get back to you. Weeks go by, they taking forever. So I'm like, I'm gonna just end up paying for a resort. But I'm gonna still look out for somewhere else. So I end up reaching out to this Airbnb and they instantly respond, okay? I feel like I'm talking so fast. Let me slow down. So this Airbnb respond, but the Airbnb is like a villa and it's huge. It's like 8 bedroom, 10 bathrooms. Like it's big. And mind you, it was originally supposed to be me and her. So they was like, you know, we'll collaborate with you, but we have to have more people. So I'm like, okay. So I go back to the planning board. I'm like, you know what? I don't do group trips, but I think this would be fun, like to invite like a couple influencers or like just girls that I find that are good vibes to go on this trip or whatever, right? Mind you, she's not paying for anything. I'm paying for everything. So I get on the phone with her. I tell her, and I'm like, you know, I think this would be a good idea. She's down, okay? I started talking to the lady. The lady was like, only thing I ask is that y'all tip my, my people and y'all tag us. That's it, mind you. The villa comes with a butler, a chef that's cooking breakfast and dinner for us, a bartender, and a housekeeper. All of that. She was just like, just tip them. So I'm telling her that, and I guess in her mind, I don't know. I'm not even gonna take it there. Let me not take it there. But I told her that, and I was like, yeah, everybody got a tip. And she was like, well, I don't know, because if everybody's tipping, then it doesn't make sense. Like, we should just, like, it's the same price as a resort. And I'm telling her, you do know when you go to a resort, you still tip, right? Like, so I'm thinking, I go on the phone with my mother, and I'm telling my mother everything. I'm like, I don't know, don't seem like she down. And my mother was like, you paying for everything. So I go tell her, like, yeah, like, you're not paying for nothing. I'm paying for where we going. I'm paying for your flight is taken care. Everything is taken care of. Like, you just come in. Like, only thing the lady is asking is that we tip and that we tag. And I don't think nothing is wrong with that, right? Now, I go out my way. I make a Canva doc. I make an itinerary. I'm in communications with the lady. Like, nobody has to worry about nothing. I got the rental car. Everybody don't have to worry about transportation. Like, I'm on it. Granted, we not even on the trip yet. I might post this while we on the trip or I don't know. But, yeah. So, while I make the group chat and stuff, she's not texting back. I'm calling her. No response. Texting her. Not texting back. Like, she will, but, like, it's real slow. So, I text her one day. I'm like, are you coming or not? Like, you know? And she was like, yeah, I'm coming. Like, I'm just at work or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not texting back. In the group chat, you're not texting me back. And then when I call you, you like, oh, I'm asleep. I call you back and you never call back. Like, what's up? She's like, yeah, I'm going. Okay. This was like 3 weeks before the trip. Okay. Like, maybe, like 2.5 weeks maybe. Time goes on. I think like maybe 2 other girls like dropped out, but I'm okay with this because they were communicating. Like, they clearly had messaged me like, hey, this is going on, I can't make it, like, you know. And I'm okay with people canceling on me as long as they communicate and they let me know ahead of time. So that was fine because I end up finding replacements anyway. So this trip is in 2 days, y'all, and it's been 2 weeks. I have not heard nothing from this girl. I think a few days ago she texted me, she said, yo, and I said, what's up? No response. So I'm telling my other homegirl, I'm like, yo, she not saying nothing. Like, I don't know. Like, it's kind of irritating me because this was originally supposed to be me and her trip. Like, what's going on? I didn't spend my money on this girl ticket. Like, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I'm letting it slide. Come today, I'm calling my mother. My mother, like, cancel that girl ticket, okay? I'm like, that's crazy. Like, you know, I don't know. She was like, text her one more time. If she don't respond, cancel that girl ticket. So I text her. I'm like, what's going on? Like, I ain't hear from you in weeks. She say she got the flu. Girl, when the fuck was you gonna say that? She talking about, oh, I'm gonna wait another day and see. We don't have another day, girl. We leave tomorrow night. What are you talking about? Like, it's no other day. Then she sent a follow-up message and was like, oh, I just really wanted to relax on this trip and I didn't want you to think that I was being antisocial or anything. Didn't want me to think you was being antisocial, girl. You ain't said nothing for the last... Let me breathe. You ain't saying nothing for the last few weeks. What you mean be antisocial? And then on top of that, you want to relax, that's fine. You act like I'm going to pick you up and put you in a damn car to come do excursions with us. If you want to relax, that's okay. But you didn't say nothing for weeks. And had I not texted you just now, was I ever going to hear nothing from you? Mind you, this friend has she has a reputation of flaking, okay? And Yo, I canceled her ticket. I took out the group chat. I canceled her ticket. And y'all, like right now, y'all don't know how bad I just want to cuss her ass out. But my mother like, don't respond. Move with grace. So I'm moving with grace, but I'm pissed the fuck off. And I ain't gonna lie, it's feeling like I want to send an invoice. Cause send me my money back. Because I tried to get my money back for the ticket and they only trying to credit me. So I'm like, I'm kind of irritated. Like, get some, like, what are we doing? Like, send me my money back. But yeah, y'all, this trip in 2 days. And I have another video that I said about the whole Airbnb situation. Girl, it's just been stuff back to back. This trip is stressing me out, okay? But tell me what y'all would have did. Cause I'm irritated.
You know, I've learned on my whole like decentering men and centering self journey is that it makes people so uncomfortable when you have nothing going on romantically. How many conversations have I had with somebody where it starts off with, oh, like, who are you dating? What's going on? And as soon as I say nobody, it's almost like their brain short circuits and they're like, okay, but surely you're still talking to, you know, there's somebody. And when I say, nope, there's nobody in my phone, like, nah. Their reaction is so strange. It's like, not only do they not believe me, but you can see them get uncomfortable and almost like look inward for a split second if you pay attention. And then they quickly try to reject the idea that you can like exist without talking to anybody romantically. And the seconds after you say that, the conversation, for me at least, has always been weird. Because it's almost like they project this pity onto you where it's like, oh, you poor thing, like things will get better. I don't think it gets any better than this. Keep your pity.
My life became so much better when I learned to decenter men and center myself. Hi, I'm Chloe. I studied social work at the University of Toronto, specifically children and families, and I consider myself to be a relationship expert. I love giving self-love and confidence advice to women, especially when it comes to dating, and I also love helping women become their most authentic and fulfilled selves. Today, I want to talk about what it means to be a woman in the context of a romantic relationship with a man. So whether you're single and looking for a relationship, or maybe you're already in one, it is very easy to lose yourself trying to be everything for a man. So in the context of seeking a partner, many women will bend and shapeshift, trying to fit themselves into a box to be attractive for a man and to get a man to like you. And I know this because I'm guilty of this. I've done this before. Maybe you dim your sparkle because you don't want to be deemed too much, or you might hold back expressing your feelings, feel anxious, wonder when to text back if you said the right thing. And you may end up spending a lot of your precious time thinking about a man that you don't even know that well, or maybe you don't even know him well enough to determine if you actually like him. On the other end, maybe you're already dating a man and you end up in this position where you're acting like his mom, his therapist, his lover, his health coach, his career advisor. Many women can relate to the feeling of trying to be everything to support a man, and that can mean giving up a lot because all of that emotional and physical effort takes up a lot of time. Time that I believe is better focused on you. You need to learn to see your time and your mental energy as one of, if not the most precious resources in the world. Your brain power and your effort and your energy and everything you're investing into him needs to be invested into you, because that's what's actually going to help you achieve all of your goals and dreams and give you this amazing life that you so desperately crave. It will not come from a man or a partner. It needs to come from within you first. So if you're currently dealing with a man and you're not seeing a return on your investment, meaning you aren't being uplifted and supported or feeling fulfilled in the same way that you're supporting him, it's not worth it. A relationship should be a mutual push and pull of supporting each other, and you cannot be doing all of the heavy lifting all the time because you will burn out. I really want you to think about what you would do with your time and energy if you weren't so focused on finding a partner. What could you do? Would you start a business? Would you try and build your dream friend group? Would you travel? What have you always wanted to try but never did because you were too afraid? That is what you should focus on. Focus on becoming your most confident self and creating your dream life, a life that is so fulfilling, so purposeful, so fun, and so exciting that it would be a privilege to be a part of that. Instead of hoping to join in on what someone else has got going on, give that to yourself first and watch your life change and open up in ways that you never thought possible.
So you mean to tell me we've been having a cabin trip planned for the past 2 months just for today to be the trip for the person whose plans it were to go ghost on us? Okay, so we're going to call this girl Keisha. So Keisha told us already the days that we needed to put in, and then she also told us that we didn't have to chip in on anything because she was covering all expenses, from paying for the whole entire cabin and then also paying for the Sprinter bus for us to all get there and get back home. Only thing that we had to buy was our costume, bring a bottle, bring your swimsuits and your luggage. That was it. We like, cool, that's a good little free weekend trip. We're gonna have a good time. She was positive that she didn't need us to bring anything other than what she asked us to. Keep that in mind. Okay, number one, y'all, we never seen the Airbnb or the cabin. She never showed us what it looked like. We just assumed that these was the plans that was about to happen because of the type of person she is. When she says she gonna do something, she do it. So as the weeks go on, we all talking about the trip. Everything's good. Everybody's getting their things together, everything. So this is the week that the trip is happening. No signs were given that we're not gonna go or that she's gonna ghost us. So the day before the trip, we confirmed the time that we had to be at, we're gonna call her TT house. So everybody was getting all their stuff together and going to bed early because of course we had to get up early because we got a 6-hour drive. So the day of the cabin trip, the morning of, which is today, I get up at like 6:50, go pick my friend up and go make some extra errands or whatever. Get to TT house at a good time. Y'all, we have not heard from Keisha. We've been calling Keisha. We was texting Keisha. Keisha has not said anything. Keisha was supposed to get the Sprinter bus at 7 a.m. At this time of day, it's 9 a.m. Okay? Nothing.
I don't know how I ended up on Miami Horror Story TikTok, but I am there. So this is the birthday girl. She went to Miami with her friend, this guy, and her friend from Atlanta. Okay, so you know who, all three people that are there. So basically all three of them went to Miami for her birthday. Her and the guy booked an Airbnb. I don't know how much the Airbnb was. I just know she paid like $390 something. And then the guy, he booked the rental for them to go on said trip to Miami. Now she's saying that she was told on the trip that she only had to pay $100 her way for gas and maybe other things out of everything that was accumulated on the trip for her part of the trip. So basically her side of the story is that they go to Miami, they get there, they're at the airport, and she asked her friend, the guy, to take pictures of her for her birthday. One of her biggest things about being on the trip and the experience is having pictures taken. He refuses to take the pictures because he is trying to find out where the rental is while he's at the airport. That's number one. That was her first strike against him, her friend. Second strike is the fact that he cut like the waist off of his shirt, and I guess he cut it wrong. She said it was looking crooked and whatever the case may be, and that he was upset that he cut his shirt wrong while they were still at the airport about to get the rental. So she says later on that evening they get to the Airbnb, all three of them, and they're, getting ready to go out or whatever. The guy friend calls one of his friends on FaceTime. Well, the friend that he called on FaceTime was a girl that she didn't like because they had some beef with each other back in middle school or high school, and she just didn't like her. The girl on FaceTime greets everybody but her, even though it's her birthday. So then they go out on the town or whatever. They go to a club, and the guy friend said he had to go do something, I think use the bathroom. And then the girlfriend, this is the girlfriend, she went to go get something to eat. So she comes back from going to get something to eat, the other girl that I just showed y'all, and the guy friend gets really upset because he's like, where's our food at? So they get into a big argument, which led into the car while they were driving. And while they were driving, the guy and the other girl got into it really bad. And the girl gets out, the other girl kicks the rental car and leaves a dent in it. The guy threatens to punch her when they get back to the Airbnb while he's on the phone with his mom. So meanwhile, they go back to the Airbnb. I guess they kind of talk it out. The next morning, the guy wanted to talk to her solo and was like, whatever. And they decided that they wanted to go to the beach before they departed ways because the other girl had to be to the airport at 3 o'clock while the guy and her had to be at the airport by like 10 o'clock. Long story short, they get into a big argument and the guy friend left her there, the birthday girl and the other girl, at Miami while he went to go take back the rental car and catch a flight. Meanwhile, her keys were in his car, the rental car. Now, his version of the story is a little bit different because he's saying that while all of that happened, he was not mad about cutting his shirt wrong and he didn't have a problem with taking pictures with her at the airport. However, when they got to the room, the Airbnb later on that day, he said that, yeah, he was on FaceTime with the girl he knew, I guess they had beef with, but he was like, it was a long time ago, so I guess it wasn't anything to really think about. Then after that, they go to the club, and the reason why he was upset, and they got into it with the girl, or he got into it with the girl from Atlanta. Mind you, he got into it with this girl. He's saying he got into it with the girl from Atlanta because the girl from Atlanta, while they were at the club, was fraternizing with other people. And I believe the girl in later video, the birthday girl, mentioned that she was talking to like 2 other girls. And she had one off with those girls, got something to eat, didn't ask him if he wanted anything to eat, didn't ask the birthday girl if she wanted anything to eat. And I guess that rubbed him the wrong way. Not to mention they really weren't acquainted with each other to begin with. So he just didn't like the attitude. He didn't like the vibe. He didn't like the energy. So long story short, while they're driving, she's threatening him the entire drive. And he was like, I don't want to put my hands on a girl. This is his version now. This is his version. He calls his mom on FaceTime, and his mom was like, you know, just don't get into it with her. Take them back to the Airbnb, you know, be a gentleman, blah, blah, blah. Girl gets out, kicks his car, puts a dent in it. At that point, he's like over it. You know what I'm saying? So basically, he also states that he put more into booking the Airbnb. Like, I guess he paid half of it. And the girl from Atlanta, he said, only bought $100 with her. That's alleged. We don't know. Because the girl from Atlanta said she had more money than that, but she was only told she only had to pay $100 towards everything. Meanwhile, he's claiming that the entire trip in its entirety, plus the rental, was like $1,500, and that they split the cost, him and the birthday girl, and that the other girl didn't pay anything. So long story short, that night they get to the room. He's apologizing to the birthday girl, which is his friend, because that's the mutual. The birthday girl's their mutual friend. And the next day, he asked the birthday girl, can he talk to her in the car? And he was like, hey, can we just finish out the trip before we leave to go to the airport at 10 o'clock, just me and you? And can we, you know, just go to the beach, vibe, have some drinks, drop her off, your friend from Atlanta, drop her off because she has to be at the airport at 3, and we can just finish out the trip together. He says that the birthday girl agreed to it, but however, when the girl got into the car, the Atlanta girl from Atlanta, when they all got into a car, checked out the Airbnb, he's stating that the girl changed her story and decided they all should have went to the beach. He didn't like that because he was like, I'm not vibing with this girl. I'm not dealing with this girl anymore. They get into it. He gives them 3 options. We can either go to the beach together. Y'all go. I'll sit in the car. That's option 1. Option 2 is we drop off your best friend at the airport and me and you just finish out the trip. Or option 3 is all 3 of y'all, or both of y'all can get out my car. So option 3 happened. Now her side of the story is really just, you know, she was like, you're not going to disrespect me. You threatened to hit a woman. You know, it's not too much to it. But essentially, she's got like 4 different parts of the story that she's telling. Meanwhile, he's got like a totally different version of the story because all in all, he's saying like, you know, he felt like he was being used during the duration of the trip for his rental and for paying half the Airbnb. She's saying that he disrespected her homegirl from Atlanta the entire trip, and she just wasn't going to side with him on that. But anyways, this was a long video. I just wanted to go ahead and recap. If you haven't seen it, I'll tag everybody in the video.